everybody. I'm so excited that you are with me today. How's everybody doing? So my name is Cole Finley, and I am the principal owner of Finley-RE Coaching and Consulting. We coach experienced real estate agents and helping them creating businesses that are predictable, sustainable, and scalable. And I'm so excited you guys are here with me today. This is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, we have the best guest speaker. Before we get started though, do me a favor, in the chat, tell me where you're from. Tell us where you're from. Just put that in the chat. I always love that because we have people all over the country. And by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, do me a favor in there, go ahead and tell us where you're from as well. You can put that in the comments. So while you guys are telling us where you are from, here's some things I want you to understand from today. Seattle, we got Arizona. Gotcha. Where else are you from? Keep going, guys. Love it. Kansas City. Chris, you're always so funny. I love Chris is from Kansas City. Great. Okay, so first things first, I want to let you know that we have three, count them, 1, 2, 3 amazing things to tell you about, but you got to wait all the way until the end of our class today to get a chance to see all of those. So make sure you hang tight till the end. 3 extraordinary things that are coming your way. You guys, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Okay, so here is the wondrous person that I want to tell you about. Our guest speaker, guys, she's so extraordinary, and I can't believe that she is actually spending some time with us and taking out of her very busy schedule. So Jo Anna Wright is our guest for today, and Jo Anna is known as the real estate wealth maven, and she has created multi-millions in real estate and in multiple states. She is recognized as an expert, helping her students create more than 5 million in real estate, changing the lives of thousands nationwide with her step-by-step retire mastermind program. Extraordinary program, guys. Extraordinary program. So she's been in the industry since the year 2000, experienced as a licensed real estate professional, investor, and entrepreneur strategist. Her passion is teaching women how to build wealth and keep more of the money they make so they can retire when they desire. She's mentored by Sharon Lechter, the co-founder of Rich Dad, Poor Dad curriculum, multiple 7-figure real estate investing instructors, along with getting her mindset clear with Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, and many other leaders within the industry. Now, by the way, you can learn more about Jo Anna at bottomlinewealth.net. That's bottomlinewealth.net. Do me a favor. Welcome in my wonderful friend, Jo Anna Wright. Jo Anna, come on in here and say hi.
Can you see me okay?
I can see you okay. How are you doing?
I'm good, love. How are you?
I am doing so good. It is so good to see you, my friend.
You as well. You as well. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I got to tell you, I'm so excited for everybody to hear your story. You've got a wonderful specialty that you do, and I'm just hoping, can you go ahead and just kind of tell us your story just a little bit?
Yeah. So first and foremost, so everybody knows who I am. Jo Anna Wright, obviously. And I help women, I help realtors to be able to go from realtor to investor, okay, without the bank or a ton of cash. So that is basically my secret sauce in helping people. I love getting on the line and connecting with people and laying out a retirement plan, right? So that's what I like to do for my clients, is to lay out a retirement plan, because we all know we write everything off, and typically most entrepreneurs don't have a retirement plan. So, and my youngest to retire retired at 28 years old. So that should give you an idea of how I feel about retirement.
Yeah.
So retire when you desire. Okay. So, yeah, how I even got started in any of this is, and why I do what I do. I'm going to give you in just like a few minutes here of when I was renting in my early 20s, my landlord's daughter came to the door and said, we need to sell off some of our inventory. And I said, inventory? you can own more than one house. Like I was so green, I didn't even know. And I'm sure you guys are all laughing right now. And my friend down the street, she walked me through it. I said, you did what? You made how much? And can you teach me? And so that began the whole real estate transition. I started out as a mortgage broker, so I truly understand how loans work. Did that for years until the bottom fell out in 2008 and said, I'm not getting another license. I'm just going to be a realtor. And, you know, because it's the same realtor, I was a broker. So I was already licensed and doing cash deals. And in 2008, I don't know how many people here can join me in this or understand it, but I did lose everything in 2008. Oh. I couldn't even afford a bottle of water. Got my car repoed, got my cell phone shut off. Like, we're talking ZIL, babe, ZIL.
Wow.
And life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And what I realized was that real estate can save me. What some people took as ruins, I took as, well, if you did it this way, it'd have been great. Right? I would have had that if I'd had the plan that my landlord had back in my 20s. The reason she did that is because, or sold off that particular property, was because she had a stroke. And having lived off of real estate, the cash flow, when she needed it most in an emergency, she was able to sell off some of her real estate to pay for her long-term care. Wow. Now, hindsight's 2020 for us all, right? You could connect the dots from the past, but it's hard to connect the future dots. And so that's what I help my clients to do, is to connect those future dots into securing their future so that they do not have to worry about if they did have a stroke, they still have cash coming in. If they did have something emergency happen, they still have cash coming in. And I thought it was the best wealth plan in the entire universe. You're not relying on a W-2, a potential pension that, you know, I don't know, a lot of companies are gambling them off. So you're lucky to get your pension. 401ks got caught. You're not even getting what you used to get. And then there's a lot of women, excuse me, men, but there's a lot of women that are inferior to what we get paid out there. Sure. You know, and as realtors, we try to create our own check, but there is, you know, that chase of the commission check, the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And it actually becomes an addiction to get that next check. Yep. And then you're on this hamster wheel. So that's why I lay out the plan. I know it was kind of a long segue into my story, but I think it's important for everyone to hear and understand. When I lost everything in 2008, I realized I did not understand the market. I did not know what was going on. And a lot of us didn't. It's not, you know, no crystal ball, you know. Right. So, but yeah, there are things to look out for. And this is what I help my clients to do. And now I create that wealth plan for my clients, the same thing that my landlord did. So again, it's what saved me and what I want to give to my clients. So hopefully that is a little bit of a long-winded answer, but there you go.
No, it's a great answer. Great answer. Do me a favor, guys, in the chat, if you would like to create wealth like that and have that backup and not have that worry, type in the word wealth in the comments. Also, if you're watching us on our Facebook Live, go ahead and in the comments there, go ahead and type wealth. Absolutely. Chris is saying wealth. Barry's saying wealth. Tiffany, Aaron, everybody's wealth, wealth, wealth. Yes. That's what we want to do. You know, you guys get into real estate for two things. You want to create wonderful abundance for your family. You want to take control of your time. But the thing that we don't learn as real estate agents is how do we create our own wealth? You know, Joanna, it's really interesting. I had a broker tell me once, he said, whenever you want to put a house on the market, the first question you always ask is, should I be the one who's buying it before I just put it on the market? Right. So I always think it's interesting when we don't think in that way as realtors. So I think this is going to be exactly what everybody is definitely looking for. So before we jump into everything, here's what I'd like to know from you guys. What is one thing that you would love to get out of class today? Go ahead and type that in the chat. What's the one thing that you'd love for Jo Anna to cover and share her knowledge and wisdom today? Just give me one little thing that you would like to learn about today. As I know, we've got some really great things that we're going to be talking about. Not using my income. Absolutely. Chris, Aaron's something I can actively do now to see results. Great. Great. What else, guys? What else would you like to see with Jo Anna today? Jo Anna, I'm so excited about this. Everyone's been doing investing on a low budget or no money. So this has been a really big thing for a lot of people. A fast return, Linda says. Great, guys. That is so, so fantastic. So let me share with you guys what we're going to be talking about today. We've got three main topics to discuss today. And the first one is going to be the mindset of an investor. We always start off with mindset. You guys know that. Next one, how to close your next deal in 90 days. Aaron, I think that might answer your question. Maybe Linda, you too. And then we're going to talk about something that I think is extraordinary. And I love Jo Anna's take on this. And it's called networking with intention. So networking with intention. So why don't we start here, Jo Anna? Let's go ahead and jump into mindset, the mindset of an investor. Take us on that journey with you.
Well, this was a tough one for me. And I got to say, because in 2008, when I lost everything, I made some very bad decisions, and I was in a very horrific relationship. And I was not only broke, but I was broken mentally, right? I was beaten physically and mentally, and it was a really tough hole to not have finances to crawl out of. Right. So my whole life got turned upside down. And there was a point where I just said, I'm putting my blinders on. And I know real estate is the way, even though I lost everything, right? I lost my investments. I just didn't know, right? So when you change your mindset into how things can work for you, instead of the negative of what you lost and the negative of the economy, like so many people gave up at that moment and just said, screw real estate. Excuse me, but that's really what happened. And they had to go get a job. And I couldn't even get a job. I was in the middle of nowhere, and nobody would even take me. I was overqualified for everything that I applied for, even down to being a bartender. They said, oh, you're just too far away. And I'm like, I can't even get a job. It was over hundreds of applications sent out. And so here I am, jobless. I can't, in a horrible relationship. I really only have real estate to work with. And so it works, like just put the blinders on, right? And so what I started doing is, when you first introduced me, Cole, you let people know that the 7-figure mindset, I've been mentored by 7-figure other investor entrepreneurs and people like Zig Ziglar, Sharon Lechter. You guys know who Sharon Lechter is. She's, with Robert Kiyosaki. She created that brand. She created all of that. And she helped me to see that it's how you twist the money is the best way that I could put it. Management sounds so boring. It's the way you twist the money, the way you leverage it, that makes all the difference. I learned so much from her. She's a CPA. She's multi-millions, I think just short of a billionaire. And so you learn from those types of people. The type of mindset it takes is discipline, is vision, and action, serious effing action. And I say that with a slight curse word there, because that is the number one thing that people lack, is action. Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I this. Oh, well, that's how your life stays the way that it is on the hamster wheel, because you don't take the action necessary that a millionaire mindset would take versus someone who is thinks the common way of spinning the day, right, on the hamster wheel. It's until you get sick of that hamster wheel that you start thinking a little bit differently. And by golly, I was sick of it. I was sick of chasing commission checks. I was sick of, I had done some flips and some wholesale. You're still unemployed at the end of those transactions, right? And the tax level of it. Let's just talk about taxes for a second. I totally geek out on taxes. So again, life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. When I lost everything in 2008, H&R Block was something that I did. I took the class, right? I go, I don't even want to do taxes, but I can't get a job. And of course, they'll take you if you breathe, right? So I passed the test, and then I geeked out. I went, what? This is tax law? Huh. This is how I could twist money. This is what Sharon was talking about. And so I learned, and in my very first year, I did 3.5 million in real estate.
Nice.
And I haven't stopped. Just last year, I did 1.2. None of this with any money out of my pocket. None of this have my credit pulled. I hold property. People might say, oh, but you probably flip it, or you hold. No. I'm holding property, no money out of my pocket. I didn't qualify with the bank.
Extraordinary.
And I didn't pay all cash. So I guess that will segue us into, there's your mindset. If you want to jump into how you guys want to do this. You guys interested in how you can do it? Anyone?
Yeah. Before we go there, I want to touch base on one thing you said, and I think it's really, really important, guys. I want you to hear what Joanna said. Discipline and having a plan and having a strategy. That's what we're talking about. She's talking about, we can go in and we can be afraid, and we can go in and not take action. The idea is saying, I am a person who takes action. And if you heard that, Joanna, I definitely heard that with you. You're saying, I am a person who takes action. I am the person who's getting out of this. I am the person who is going to be wealthy. And I am the person who puts this plan together and then executes on the plans. Do me a favor. If you guys are one of those people and your mindset is ready to say, I am going to do this, type in the words I am into the chat. Type in I am into the chat if you are ready to learn how to do this in the next 90 days. I am. You've got lots of I ams coming. Do me a favor, if you're watching this also on the live stream, type in I am, even if you're watching the replay. I want to hear from you. I am. See, all sorts of I am. So these folks are ready, Joanna. Okay, so let's do it.
I love it. So you know, I did a ton of wholesale, and as a licensed realtor, yes, you can do that, and have a conversation with your broker. You can still do it. And I just went to town. I went to town on that, and I did. I thought it was the only way I could do real estate.
I stopped you there for just 2 seconds, Joanna. Can you tell people what? Some people may not know what wholesale is. So
Sure. Yeah, I've been in it so long, I apologize. So wholesale is buying at a discount and selling at a discount to a fix and flipper. And then they have this equity, right? They sell on the retail market. Okay, so they make what's in between. And as a wholesaler, it's almost like being a realtor, right? Without a license. And so some people, there's all kinds of talk about that, but we won't get into it. There are some states where you do have to be licensed in order to do wholesale. However, you do not need to be licensed to be a real estate investor. And I know a lot of people get their real estate license because they want to get into real estate, and then they actually are just a servicer of real estate transactions, not even actual real estate. They're not even in real estate. So that was an aha for me, to change my mindset of, okay, it's just a service. It's not even I have no real estate, right? So even though I got into real estate as a real estate investor and I was doing wholesale and fix and flip, I'm still not really in real estate. I don't have any assets. Okay, you're still servicing in what we call active investing versus passive investing. And that's where I want to lean you towards, is passive investing, because that is where the true wealth is. Because I geek out on the tax and legal side. I'm not a CPA or an attorney, but I did train. I had a license as a CPA, and I've read tax law, right? I've read it, I've trained on it, and I freaking geek out on it because I can't believe that everybody doesn't know this. I'm like, didn't y'all read the tax law book? You know, it's a great read. People are like, yeah, whatever, Joanna. But no, so, and that's why I like to share my knowledge, because it shows how to be an entrepreneur, which is a realtor, right? You're 1099, you're an entrepreneur. And how real estate assets are how you pay next to zero in taxes. So the tax law is written for you, believe it or not. And this is how the rich get richer. There's like a whole laid out plan that I give my clients on how the rich get richer. I do not deal with people that think that it's only for the rich. You need to change that mindset right now. It's for everybody, right? And if you think you can't, well, then you can't. That's Henry Ford, right? If you think you can, just go do it, right? And then I could give you the path. So that's what I help my students do. Book a call, we jump on a call, and we lay out everything to their retirement plan and reverse engineer it to today, so that they have benchmarks on how to step forward step by step. And it's all customized to them. Okay, that's important to me because everyone's different. Everyone has a different plan. Everyone needs different money. Everyone wants to invest differently. Everyone has a different threshold of investing. So getting that customized plan is what's important. So the whole closing on your next deal in 90 days. So I do a 5-day challenge, Cole. I do a 5-day challenge helping people understand real estate. And then what it means for them, how to get out of analysis paralysis and take action. And I've had participants tell me they've gotten more out of my 5-day challenge than a $40,000 program that they paid. So it's pretty action-packed with homework. It puts you into action. And I actually have people putting in offers by day 5.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So if that's something that intrigues you, this is how I help my participants, my clients, to be able to close on a property in 90 days or less. So if they can get a contract within 5 days, closing within 60 to 90 days is simple. And some of you might be asking, well, that's good for you, Joanna. You've been doing this for a while. So I had a brand new person come in. She doesn't know jack about real estate. So you guys are already well ahead of the game. And she was writing a contract by day 5. And I'm walking her through it, keeping her safe. So that is my jam. It's all about taking action. I don't care what license you have, how many credential initials you have behind your name, your ABCs. I don't care what you have or who you are. If real estate investing is what you want, you can absolutely do it through my trainings.
By the way, guys, I told you that we're going to have 3 exciting things towards the end here. You hang tight because Joanna's going to share some real good stuff for you. Okay, so just a teaser coming up. How many of you guys, though, would like to, let's say that you just decided to take Joanna's challenge, and she's going to talk more about it, like I said, just a little bit. But how many of you guys would start a challenge and on day 5 be writing an offer? Put 5-day in the chat for me. 5 days in the chat. Yep. 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. Everybody's there. Absolutely. So this is something that's really exciting, guys. We change our mindset. We find a strategy that help us get to our long-term goal. That's the thing that, I know that's what we talk about with our clients all the time, Joanna. I know you and I talk the same. By the way, Joanna and I have the same coaches, so that's it's really fun. So we we get to geek out on what the guys say as well. Okay, so let's keep going on that, Joanna. So Melanie has got a quick question for us. She says, how do you find the properties?
I was waiting for the first how-to to come up.
There you go.
Yeah, so the how is my part that I get to help you guys with. So it sounds great to make millions in real estate. It sounds great to have cash flow. It sounds great, but how do you get there, Joanna? I get it. I get it. So in my 5-day challenge, I have over 5-6 different ways that you can find motivated sellers. Okay. I set my clients up to be able to get leads right away and script to call them so that they answer the phone, and how to follow up with them and make it a win-win situation. So a lot of this has to deal with the story of the seller. And I have had a ton of investors come to me and say, well, I can't find any deals. None of the numbers make sense. I said, well, what's the story of the seller? Why are they selling? Well, I don't know. I didn't talk to them. Well, how do you expect to put a deal together if you haven't spoken to the seller?
Right.
So I can't tell you how time and time again, there are investors out there that really just, I'm sorry, they don't know how to invest. And it was proven in many different aspects of the market. And I'll give you the current example of when the rates went up. How many of you know how many investors got caught holding their shorts in the middle of a rehab when the rates shot up? They had to sell it half done. How many of you got one of those listings? Half done properties.
Yeah, do me a favor, type in half done if you had a client like that. By the way, I could type that in. I had one of those people. So
Yeah.
totally get it. How about anybody else? Did you have a half done when the rates went up? That was a tough time. I know that's happened with a lot of even of agents and their clients, regardless of whether they owned a property or not. They really had like an investment property rather, but just regular property that they own. They had that issue. Yeah.
And so a lot of investors got caught in that wave, if you will, and lost a lot of money because they weren't paying attention to the market. And there's so many investors that just like, oh, well, I have cash, so I'm just going to go buy. That makes me an investor. No, that makes you uneducated.
Sure.
Yeah. So leveraging money is key. And that's what I like to do, is leverage money. I don't care if you have $1 million in your pocket, you don't use your own money. You just don't. And had I known that, what I wanted to tell myself back in 2008 was, you didn't need any money, Joanna. And you hear about it, like, I think it's been around, like, Carlton Sheets. Who knows Carlton Sheets?
Yeah, way back. Yep. I bought his program. I bought his program like back in I think it was like the mid-90s. So totally get that. Hilarious.
Yeah, now it's a doorstop, you know. But the whole thing is we hear it, but we're like, but how? We hear it, but how? How could you do that? And why wouldn't, if you had all cash, why wouldn't you pay all cash? Because if you take all your cash and you put it in their property, it's in jail. You can no longer use it. And if you're banking on appreciation, you're not a real investor. Appreciation should be considered gravy, not a strategy. Okay? Because the real estate market, you guys should know this, is a wave. It goes up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to buy on today's numbers in today's market of cash flowing properties. And what I know to be true, because I do it myself, I just closed on 2 properties. One property pays for both all taxes, insurance, everything. So I get plenty of cash flow, no money out of my pocket. So basically I took it over the property subject to the existing loan. Okay. And I had a private money lender come in for escrow and repairs. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It really is that simple.
Mhm.
And some of you might go, but still, how? How do
Well,
you do that? Can
and-
you do that?
Well, and I think that's the interesting thing. So when we're talking about a sub two, a lot of you guys may not know that you can actually purchase a property. Okay. The mortgage stays with the prior homeowner, but if you purchase the property, you can actually pay that mortgage, but you own the property. People don't know you can actually do that. So there's going to be people out there who are really in a bind and they need to be able to get away from that property. One of the, it's such a great strategy. So many people don't know about on sub two for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, now let's not get it twisted. This is not assuming a loan. Some
Right.
people say the same. Assumption is assuming and qualifying with a loan. Subject to means you're taking over subject to the existing loan. The existing stays there and you own it, you're on title. Okay, so just to be clear on that. And then to answer Melanie's question, how do you find these? So I pretty much never leave my seat here. I'm talking to people like this on the line all the time. I'm in Facebook Messenger. I am on social media. I'm having conversations with potential clients, sellers. So what I try to do, and this is what I train my clients to do, is to have a servant heart. Okay, give before you ask. Give as much as you can before you ask. And a lot of us have that backwards, and a lot of us have trouble getting on that phone because they're like, I don't know what to say, or phones don't work. I don't know. And they get stuck about how to do a phone call. And typically that's because you're getting on the phone to get instead of getting on the phone to give. You need to be able to give and not expect anything in return. And I know you're saying, but Joanna, I am calling because I want to get the listing or I want to buy it, right? That should be the very last thing that you do. How can you support that person should be first. And this brings us back to the millionaire mindset, right? How can you serve first, right? That's Jim Rohn. Give people more of what they want. You get everything that you need. Right. So I did learn from my mentors.
Absolutely. You know, Pace Morby has this story. It was the very first time, and so he's a big sub two guy. He went the very first time that he spoke to an owner for the sub two property. He actually he was young, and all he did, he went in and learned from the woman who was in the bind. And the most important thing for her, she had bunnies. And she wanted to make sure that the bunnies could have a new place and they would be okay. So that's what he solved for. He, first of all, before going in and saying, hey, I want to, purchase your house, he went in and he tried to figure out, and he found a way to help the woman have a place for her bunnies.
Exactly. So now, and I've done that. I had a house that was, she didn't know what to do. Her mother had passed away. She didn't know, she was all the stuff, she called it, right? And so I got her an antique appraiser and went in there, and she actually made money from some of the antiques that were in there, and was able to remove the stuff, right? So people don't have answers, and y'all as realtors should have a list of resources right out of the gate for people. If not to get the listing, maybe to purchase, right? So you should already be being resourceful for people. And that's how you're going to get more listings, more buyers, more people working with you, growing your portfolio, getting private money lenders, getting just an abundance of. The more you serve, the more you give, the more you get. So solving problems, challenges is what I like to say. people are challenged. They don't understand real estate law. They don't understand what's going on, what they can do. Do you know how many people have come to me, Cole, that said, I wish I knew you when my house was in foreclosure. I didn't know I had these options.
Right.
And still, they still get it, you know,
Yeah.
23 years later, people are like, oh my God, I didn't know I had options.
Right.
People are uneducated when it comes to this. And the more you can educate and serve, the more business you're going to get, the more you're going to add to your portfolio, the more relationships you're going to build.
Mhm. Absolutely. Now, Melanie has a good question. She says, on subject twos, are you concerned about the acceleration clause being called in by the mortgage company? Good
Nope.
question.
That is the number one thing I hear all the time. And
Mhm.
as long as the bank's getting paid, they
don't.
really don't care. So what we did was, there's a whole transaction. The paperwork is thick. You guys know, you're realtors, but it comes a little bit thicker with the subject to clauses and things that go inside of the contract, disclosures and whatnot.
Mhm.
And you keep the insurance on there. You keep the loan and the insurance the same. So I've only heard of one instance where the bank called it due. And that's because the bank had sent something to the seller. The loan was still in his name. And he goes, oh, well, I sold that. And they went, what? You didn't tell us. And so they called the note due. And so all it took was a conversation of, okay, this is taken over. The management here is in place. You're getting paid. They're like, oh, okay, as long as we're getting paid, we're good.
Mhm.
So sometimes just having a conversation with that bank, because they're all different.
Mhm.
They all wear different glasses and see things differently. So, and the worst case scenario, if they do call it due, just put it up for sale and get rid of it. That really is the net, if you will, because don't try and hold on to something that they're going to make your life difficult, right? Well, maybe you can qualify. Maybe you do go through the qualification process, but worst case scenario, now you have to sell it.
And that's the rare thing. I think a lot of people don't realize
that's
it's a very
totally
rare thing.
rare.
I know, because Melanie's saying that is my concern. Here's the interesting thing, Melanie, what you'll realize that's actually very rare. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you bring that up. Good question. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's a down market, great question.
Mhm.
It is, so again, back to buying appropriately in the first place. So let me just take you on the ones that I just recently closed on. So I needed to know, what the note was. I took it over for just the note. And so one person asked me a while back, well, what about if there's equity? Do you give them the equity? Not necessarily.
Mhm.
Again, so getting the story from the seller helps you position this, and all your questions will be answered according to the story. Okay, so the recent two I just closed on, no equity was given. Okay, there's another one I did a while back, and there was plenty of equity, and we did subject to and seller financing on that. So I still didn't have to worry about that. So now there's two notes on there that are getting paid by the tenant that is well over the value of the property. And so long as that is being paid, you are covered.
Mhm.
Right? So you have to buy on today's numbers. And let's just say today's number is 100 grand. And then by next year, it's only worth 80 grand. I get that. So there is if you're buying correctly and you know where the market is going, you'll know that you can't get it for any more than 80,000 to begin with.
Mhm.
And so that's where a lot of people get hung up.
Mhm.
They think just because it's the value of, 100 grand, this is what I have to pay. No, if you're paying attention to the market and knowing which way it's going, is it sideways? Is it down? Is it up? Paying attention to the market tells you that I have to adjust for it going down.
Mhm.
And I need to know that the rents cover. Okay. And if the rents are covering, you can make anything happen
Mhm.
with the rents covering. So long as the bank is getting paid, they are fine. You could refinance it into another loan, even if you wanted. There's so many options. Refinancing it into another loan, they're selling it. There's just usually if you just talk to the bank, all they want is to get paid.
Right.
So I wouldn't, that's like a speck in the universe of opportunity that
Exactly.
we're focusing on.
Yeah,
So
I was just going to say that too, because you know, a lot of things that Joanna is talking about right now, guys, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of strategy to it, and there's a lot to learn from it. So if this is kind of giving you little nerves, it's okay. There is a plan, there is a method for that. By the real quick, so Chris asked if you had to sell the property, let's say you were in that same situation, do you sell it, or does the as the investor, or do you or does the previous owner sell the property?
only the person that owns the property can sell it. So they own the loan. Their name is on the loan. The loan has really nothing to do with the property.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you don't even have to talk to the bank. So long as you're getting paid, they're happy, Jackie. It's okay. But yeah, you're the owner. You're on title.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's on title is the person who gets to sell it.
Right. And then who writes off the mortgage, interest, and taxes? Chris is asking.
Yeah, so that actually all goes to the new owner.
Mm-hmm.
And now all that is the clauses, like, so the insurance needs to stay in place, because that's a red flag to a bank if the insurance changes in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
They go, whoop, whoop, hello, we need insurance on this.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as those things are in place, if anything happens to the property, those are all part of the disclosures
Mm-hmm.
that the seller writes off. If anything happens, insurance money goes directly to the person who owns the property.
Right.
The interest goes to the person who's paying the mortgage, right? The person who owns it is doing that. It just is in their name. So some of you might be asking, well, why the heck would they ever do that? You'd be amazed. You will be amazed. The stories that you hear. I've had properties given to me. I didn't even have to put any cash. I mean, just given, signed over, because of so much drama in somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
And actually twice that's happened. Once was a severe situation. One was a moving situation. I won't get into those stories, but they were pretty dramatic. But you'll be amazed at how many people are in that situation. And the two that I just closed on, let me just tell you, I tried so hard to help her. And her final words that got her to say yes. I just want to lay down and die, Joanna. I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
That's how motivated she was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, you have your options that I could do. This is how I can serve. This is how I can support. This is how I can help you. And she said, let's do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I got rid of her headache. That's really all it is.
Servant mentality.
Yeah.
Servant mentality. Chris is asking, who sends out the 1099?
Oh, so you're the one that's making the cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your accounting should be handling the 1099.
Mm-hmm.
For the write-offs for the person paying, yeah, the person paying, whoever's, so you're actually making the payments, right? Even though it's in their name. So you have all the money that's happening. So it's up to you to handle everything. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Great. So basically what we're saying is, I bet you do. So Chris says, I have so many questions. Awesome, Chris. Awesome. We're gonna help you with that in just a bit. So hang on tight. So basically what we're saying, and I think Chris is really pointing this out. Chris is just saying she has so many questions. Here's the thing to understand, is that there's strategy involved. There's a learning curve. Now, how many of you guys, by the way, if you're experienced in real estate, you're an experienced real estate agent, type in the word experienced into the chat. Or if you're watching us on Facebook Live, type in the word experienced into the comments. 26 years. Yeah. Experienced. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me how many years too. I love this. Lots of experienced people. 35 years, Melanie. Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. That's longevity, right? Beverly's been in 17 years. Chris, 26. Oh my gosh. Lots and lots of experience here. Remember, and it's not going to take you that long, right? But over time, there's a learning curve of getting really, really great at this job. Even so, there are a lot of things to learn to be able to really run a business as a business and make it something predictable. A part of that is also learning how to invest. If you're going to create long-term wealth for you and your family, running your real estate business as a business and understanding that, and then having a wealth building component, those are strategies that are entwined with each other. And it's important, so important. You know, Joanna, we talk about it all the time in our program, that wealth building, that's one of our modules, right? Wealth building is absolutely a part that we need to understand that so many agents don't. So that's what's coming up, and it's all about you learning now. So you get to go back to that learning mode, guys. You get to go back to that learning mode. Now, before we get into special stuff on that, Joanna, you want to talk to a little bit about your concept of networking with intention.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who's ever been to a networking meeting, right? I don't know. Most of them are, you know, they serve drinks and food, and you laugh, you joke, and what did you accomplish in it? So I realized early on, well, first of all, I was a complete wallflower when I first started. I'm in a room of over 300 people, and I'm in the back going, hi. I really had to learn how to network, you know, and if they came past the table of all the, you know, stuff that's laid out of, you know, JV partners, of, you know, floor people and whatever, I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? Did you get one? Did you, you know, and I gotta tell you, it was a huge waste of time for me. And I didn't get much business from going to those meetings. I thought something's got to change. Something's got to change. It's good to connect. It's good to shoot the shit, if you will, and just be on a, you know, human level. But the biggest thing that you could do for yourself is network intentionally. And you could still give a lot of love while doing it. But let's just say you go into a room. Why are you going to the meeting in the first place? What are you going to get? Right? There's that get thing again, right? So going with intention helps you when you're serving at that event, when you're asking the head person of that event, what can you do to serve? What can you do to support Kole? What does Kole need that you could support her with? She's the head person of this meeting. What can you do to support? Share the live with somebody, share the content, share the group, grow her group. And you know what this does? The more you're giving Kole, the more you're getting, because guess what? Now there's more people in the community that you can leverage time, money, and resources with. So now you get a little something from it. You guys catching on? So see what you could do for Kole. What does Kole need? And just do it for her. Just do it. Okay. Here's what happened. Example, a true blue example of, I'll work for you for free, Joanna, if you just show me how to do blah, blah, blah. That is the wrong answer. Now, if someone started editing my videos and someone started, you know, say, hey, I made this reel for you, makes you look like a superstar. Hey, I shared your group. Hey, I bought your book. Hey, I joined your thing. I really want to know everything that you know, Joanna. That is going to get my attention. Same thing with Kole. Head of the room. What can you do to serve her? And so now when I go into a room, the first person I go to is the head of the room, saying my intention for the meeting is to meet, maybe it's money lenders, maybe it's the person who has the most experience in the room, maybe it's another realtor, I'm building realtors in this area, maybe it's maybe I need a contractor, whatever it is that I have on my list of things that I need support with. I'm going to go to the head of the table, the head of that meeting. I'm going to ask them, who would you point out for a contractor in this room. Oh my God, don't talk to Steve over there. You might want to go talk to Bob. They'll know. They'll know who the right person is because they know you and they know them. So leverage your time at these meetings and go in with intention. Because I network online mostly, I am a serious networker online. I have met, clients, money lenders, realtors, contractors, you name it. You name it. The seller that I took over, subject to, I never met her in person. It was all online. I told you I don't leave my house if I don't have to. I live up on the hill in the middle of nowhere on 78 acres, right? I got my cows, my chickens. I love my life. And, there's times where I don't even want to go to the grocery store because that means I have to leave the house. Don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid to, but you get cozy. You just get cozy, right? So networking with intention is huge into getting what you need as a human being as well. The more you talk about what you need, who you are, what you do, Cole could say, hey, listen, Melanie, I know you got 35 years experience and I was looking at A, B, and C. Would that be something you could support me with? And Melanie would be like, oh shit, yeah, let's go.
Right.
And again, I'm just saying this because time is of the essence. Network with intention to leverage time, money, knowledge, everything that you need in this world is at your fingertips with networking. That's why it is so huge. And then have a little bit of a script ready to go. And I say script, it's just bullet points of things you want to make sure you repeat and say. Okay, that you're an investor, that you work with first-time home buyers. One of my clients, she's a downsized diva. She works with elderly people that want to downsize. Say who you are and what you do at all times. You're not just a realtor. You're not just an investor. That's right. If you invest already. Who here invests already?
Yeah. If you invest already, type an investor in the comments. If you're already an investor, your own investment property. So Melanie, fantastic investor. Who else? Investor. Okay, so quite a few of you guys. Quite a few of you. Fantastic. Love that. I love what you're saying here about talking about who you really are. It's one of the things that I know I always talk about our clients with is about get very, very clear on who you serve. Because a first-time home buyer is very different than an investor. If you serve them, it's very different than a luxury buyer. They're all different. So when we can absolutely understand who we serve, then we know who we help for sure. By the way, congratulations, Aaron. He's finishing on his first flip right now. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Yeah. So that's so funny. I have a quick flip story. I was doing a flip in California. I bought it for $28,000, believe it or not, in California. Wow. I know. Everyone always says add a zero when you're talking about California. I'm like, no, but I bought it for $28,000. And I got shut down 3 different times from my architect not doing the right plans. The city shut us down several times. I went through 3 different contractors. I finally, the third one was the best contractor, and he ended up in the hospital with something he couldn't come back. And so I was dating this guy, and he goes, well, I like to do finish work. We were just at the very tail end of it. And I'm like, could you support me in this? Talk about networking and saying what you want and you need, right? And he pulled it together, and I went, he's now my husband.
Well, that worked out nicely.
It worked out really well. But yeah, that was amazing what happens in the middle of a flip, right, Aaron? So many things come abroad of, doing a flip. But also what also comes to my mind, because I geek out, is taxes. So you get whacked in taxes. This is why the 𝒔𝒄 strategy is so important to know. And it's kind of back now because we've leveled out on the rates. So people are back doing the 𝒔𝒄 strategy.
Can you walk us through the 𝒔𝒄 strategy a minute so people kind of understand?
Sure.
The RRR. Yep.
Yeah. So it's buying real estate, it's rehabbing it, it's renting it, and then refinancing it, and then repeat. Those are the acronyms there. That's the 𝒔𝒄 strategy. I forget who made that up. I think it was whatchamacallit from Bigger Pockets, Brandon. But anyway, so it's about taking a property that needs value add to it, and then you're sort of flipping it to keep it is the end result. But the reason why that is so important, and this is truly how the rich get richer. If you're just doing a flip, you're wasting so much money on taxes. So Aaron, my thought to you is to take the property, you have it, you flipped it, you just completed it, now refinance it. Pull all that money out, the equity that you've created, and then sell it. And you may be asking me why. Does anyone know why? Anyone? Anyone? I know there's
You know why?
delay
Type it in the chat. If you know why, Joanna's suggesting that. Taxes.
Woo! Taxes, Beverly's on it. Taxes, that is why. That is tax-free money coming out. And most flippers will take what they did and have all this equity that they're going to sell it on and have to pay the taxes on that.
Right.
And so a way to pay in less taxes is to take that equity out and sell the least amount of equity. Good job.
I love
Good
that
job.
strategy. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, so we've been talking about mindset. Absolutely. It's getting real and getting right in your brain so you can come in with intention, just like your real estate business. When get an intention inside of your investing side, then we're talking about a learning curve. We're talking about a learning curve and making sure that even within 5 days, you can be writing your first offer. How cool is that? And then we're really talking about who are the people you know, getting to know people, making sure that you're creating this network. By the way, if you're a realtor, that's important. If you're an investor, that's important. If you're an investing realtor, that's important. We're in a people business. You know, one of my favorite agents of all time, her name is Rosie Work. And Rosie always used to tell me, you know what I do, Cole? I socialize for a living. And, you know, she's a $100 million producer, right? And she's, you know, that's what she does. And that's what we do. And when we're talking about investing, it's the same thing. It's a people business and being really prepared for that. So important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, networking is key to anything that you need, building your team. And everyone needs somebody sort of different on their team. And just so that you know, when I was working as a realtor, I don't do that anymore. I'm licensed in California. There's 12 of us that work together on a regular basis. And so collaborating with other realtors is key. I need a buyer's agent on this. Cole, are you available? I need, it's over in your area. You want to list it for me, and then I'm going to buy it. Right. Like, so there was that arm's length going on with short sales. You got to have it arm's length. So having realtors from other companies helped make sure it was arm's length, not in the same company. So there's 12 of us that when I first really started jamming on the real estate investing side again, that really came together. And the more I started off with just myself, and then I had 2 people said, what are you doing? So there was 3 of us in the room making offers. And then I had 10 people. And then I had workshops of like 50 plus. And now I've trained thousands across the nation to do what I do. So it's all about giving, right? Having a servant heart. And then it's a collaboration of working together. Absolutely. That rises all ships.
So speaking of servant heart, you guys, Joanna is doing something very, very special for our breakthrough crew. I'm so excited about this. So Joanna, what are you doing for our folks who are with us right now. So exciting.
Yeah, so I did a Black Friday special, and it was to do an 8-week program with me, having me in your corner by your side. I have multiple realtors that are in my program. Having to take that realtor hat off and put the investor hat on is sometimes difficult. So that's where a lot of the mindset comes in. And doing the creative, no money out of your pocket, not having a ton of cash, not needing to qualify, have your credit pulled. We all know we write everything off. So being able to do creative real estate investing is key, is really key nowadays. Mm-hmm. And so I'm inviting you all to my holiday special. That is an 8-week course, training, live training from me on how to do all of your questions that you had here in the chat, in January. So if you sign up now, I'm going to give Cole a code so that you guys get the holiday price, the Black Friday price. The price went up already. Okay, the price has gone up already. So as a gift to Cole and Cole's community, I'm going to give you guys a code, Cole 2023, so that you can get the Black Friday special.
Love that. And I'm going to be putting that inside of our Facebook group, guys. We'll put all that inside of this replay. So you'll have those details in there. And then everybody who's on the call today, I will go ahead and I will share that with you guys as well. Can you give us a little idea of the price on that?
Yeah, so it's normally $19.97, and you guys get it at 76% off for $4.97.
Guys, 8 weeks with Jo Anna, who has created millions for her clients. 8 weeks, and you get to start doing that. $4.97.
Yep, I'll walk you through.
That is a Christmas present you absolutely need to give to yourself. Yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so and it's pretty much never going to be that again. Yes.
Yes, Melanie, we sure are. So I'll be sending that out to everybody who attended. I'll be sending 2 things. I'll be sending the replay of this class as well as the information on that. Great question. You are welcome, Melanie. Not a problem.
Absolutely. And, just so that you know, it's really dialing in who you are as a person, as a real estate investor. Again, we all have a different threshold mindset, glasses that we wear around the whole subject, and really dialing that in. And let me just leave you with this, that we have a teacher on a teacher's salary that owns 1,000 properties. Okay. We have students retiring at 28 years old. We have realtors that didn't think wealth would ever be in their foresight, collecting properties and building their dream home right now.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Okay. So if that's you, I do invite you guys to come play along and understand the creative side of real estate investing, so that you can build your retirement plan and never have to rely on chasing commission checks, the government, or your significant other to support you financially.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so that I told you we had three special things. Okay, I am going to show you the next special thing, and it ties right along with what we've just been talking about. So coming in January, you're going to see the Breakthrough REI Investors Club. This will be specifically people who are in our Breakthrough RE private Facebook group will have the ability to join us in the Breakthrough REI Investors Club. Let me tell you how excited I am about this. So first of all, Jo Anna will be doing a masterclass once a month for our Breakthrough REI investors. And then we will also have all sorts of content in there, as well as a lot of networking for you. So here's what we're going to be doing, and I'll send this out to everybody. Later in December, we're going to hold an informational masterclass on it. You guys know exactly what's happening with it. And if you would like to be a member of that club, it will be by membership. If you'd like to be a member of that club, you can take advantage of that. And again, I got to tell you, Joanna, you just partnering with us and with our breakthrough crew. So I lovingly call our breakthrough Facebook group members. I just think that's so huge. And you spending your time on that is fantastic. Okay, so we've got just about 10 minutes before, and I'm saving the last amazing thing for a couple more minutes. But Joanna, maybe, does anybody have any questions? Let's open it for Q&A just a little bit. What questions do you have for Joanna about anything we talked about, or anything in real estate in general? We're both here. We can both help you.
Yeah.
That'll be good. By the way, has this been fun for everybody? If this has been great, type in "great" in the comments section. Type in
I know,
"great."
I've had fun. I could talk real estate all day long.
Yes, me too. We both geek out in real estate. It's kind of there.
Yeah.
Love this. Love this. Great, great. I'm excited. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. What other questions do you have? What more questions do you have? Awesome, says Kevin. Great. I'm so glad you guys are all here, by the way. Fantastic. Too many for here. Okay, Chris, you've just got less. Okay, so we just need to get you and Joanna connected. We know that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going, yes, please. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So I want to take us into one more thing before we wrap up. When we're talking about you as an entrepreneur, there are layers to it. Okay. Now, most of us, like I said at the very beginning, you get into real estate because you want to have control of your time. You want to make great money. Those are the things. Here's our biggest challenge. And you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. One of the biggest challenges of an experienced real estate agent is creating a business that is predictable, sustainable, and scalable and consistent. Does anybody ride the commission roller coaster? If you do, type in roller coaster in the chat. Does anybody do that, where you ramp up all your lead generation, you do really, really great, and then you get so busy with clients, and oh my gosh, everything falls off, and then what do you know? The next thing you know, you have no you got no clients, and the money is driven up. I like Diana, I love it. Roller coaster in all caps. A lot of you guys are like that for sure. So, and we've got a couple of our clients on here. So it's so good to see some of our clients. And I want to share with you just for a moment about our 12 weeks to breakthrough program. And like I said, we do so many things inside of this program. One of those really is talking about wealth building as well. But I want to walk you through, if I can just keep you here for just a moment, I'm going to walk you through what our program looks like. And then we can talk about a chat of how we can sit down about it for a second. So first of all, our program is two components. It has a coaching component and it has a learning component. So first, when we talk about the learning component, it's 12 weeks of on-demand learning. What does that mean? Those are videos that you watch, okay? And those videos, you watch the videos for a week, and then you meet with your coach. Now, those videos could cover anything from mindset, finances, client acquisition, exceptional experiences, articulating value, creating a strategic plan, time management operations, growth planning, wealth building, and more. We go into all of it. And then every week, based on what you learned, you would sit down and you would have a coaching session with your coach. So that's live. So it'd be on Zoom, but you're with your coach live, and you're talking about all the things that you are learning and implementing into your business. And they're there to support you and help you implement that. Now, That might be great, but we keep going there. So every listing presentation, every buyer consultation, your marketing presentations, your value presentations, basically all the tools that you need for professional client presentations, that comes with the program. Let's keep going. How about handy guides for your buyers and sellers? This is everything from moving guides to the ultimate home buyer's guide. We have the ultimate home seller's guide. We have the guides that help you articulate your value to your clients so they know exactly what you are providing with them. Every kind of guide that you can imagine. Let's keep going. Every checklist, spreadsheet, profit and loss workbook, all of those are included in this. By the way, we are adding an entire AI component for understanding artificial intelligence and how to use it in your business. That is also a part of this program. And then we have something that's really cool. I love these because I'm a little partial. So the Finley field manuals, that's either myself or someone on our team have written these. These are books like Negotiations 101 or the Digital Media Mastery book, the Rookie's Handbooks. If any of you have a team, we have those. The Complete Guide to Storytelling, that's the art of engagement. Pretty much every single type of book that you can imagine. If we've written it, you get those for free. By the way, one of the biggest things that we do, we help create a business, a breakthrough in your business. Here's the coolest thing. On average, people who've been in our program, within 6 months after completing the program, they have doubled their business. A couple of them have tripled it. That's the goal. By the way, 94% of our students always tell us that on week 7 is when they have their breakthrough. Like, I believe, like, I think Beverly, you're on our call here. You're one of those people. You had to break through in week 7. So it's always kind of fun like that. Now we keep going. Plus weekly live stream training sessions. We have a video vault full of all of our past trainings. We have our private Facebook group. We have blogs and articles galore. And by the way, you do have the option for performance coaching at the end of the program. Now, here's the amazing thing I want to tell you about. One of our past clients, who wants to remain completely anonymous, by the way, he had actually quadrupled his business in the 6 months after he completed our program, quadrupled it. And he decided that he wanted to give back. So what he's doing is, for anybody who enrolls in our program by December 15th, you'll receive a partial scholarship of $1,000 off of our program. $1,000 off our program. I think it's extraordinary. And he won't let me see his name, but he's fabulous. So I'm just gonna tell you, thank you so much for what you're doing to people. He just wanted to give back. Talk about that servant mindset. He wanted to give back. So anybody between now and December 15th. Okay. So here's how we start this process. We don't know if we're a match yet. Okay, I got to let you guys know, we don't know if we are a match yet. So here's what you and I would do. We would schedule a really short 10 to 15 minute Zoom call, just like now. That's all it is, 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to chat about you, your goals, and let's see if this might even be something that would be great for you. So all you need to do, you just go to calendly.com/colefinley/discovery-call-with-call. I know that's long, or scan this QR code. It's going to take you to my calendar. That's what it is. Choose a date, find a time, and we'll sit down and we will chat, having a lot of fun with people on this, by the way. So let me take you right back to that QR code really quickly so you can take a peek at that. I'm going to put this in our group so you guys can schedule that. Great. Well, Joanna, thank you so much. You are so extraordinary to spend your time with us today. Do me a favor, everybody give some love to Joanna, share some hearts, share some thank yous in the chat with her. So exciting. We're going to put all of her information inside of the Facebook group. I will also be emailing that out to all of you guys who have attended today. There's your hugs. There's your thank yous. They're coming in like crazy for Joanna. Love that. But we'll put that information. I'll get that out to you. I'll get the replay out to you. And I will also get the information of stuff. Thank you again, Joanna. You're amazing.
Absolutely. Look forward to connecting.
Mhm. Bye, everybody. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. We'll see you later.